Hi everyone. I thought today I would talk about Frank Zappa again. I think I did one other video a few months back on him, showing the whole discography I have of his. But I wanted to do my top 10 favorite Frank Zappa albums today on this channel. And you know, I've mentioned this before. It's funny how you go through certain weeks when you kind of gravitate towards a certain band or artist. Recently, the Moody Blues, I was listening to them more than probably 80% of the time. And I need to start listening again because I want to rank their early albums. But I haven't played them in probably 3 or 4 weeks. You know, I've moved on to other artists that I love. But like I said, it always all over the place with music. And one artist that's been in my life since 1975 is Frank Zappa. And, you know, not too long goes by without me listening to at least one of his albums. At least once a month I'll listen to 1 or 2 of his albums. But I usually gravitate, I like that word, towards certain albums. But about a week ago, I played this one. It's a compilation called Cheap Thrills. And I bought it about 10 years ago. I listened to it once or twice, and then I didn't listen to it anymore. Because, you know, I'd rather listen to Hot Rats or Joe's Garage. But like I said, I listened to this about a week ago, and I was really not with everything. There's some, you know, stupid tracks on it. Like the Mud Shark interview. But there's The Torture Never Stops, the original version of that with Captain Beefheart on vocals. There's some great guitar work on this, on some of the songs. My Guitar Wants to Kill Your Mama. Catholic Girls. Yeah, there's some live tracks. It's just a compilation that Frank Zappa put together. And it's a good compilation. So that kind of got me back into listening to Frank Zappa. And one night I played, I think, 5 albums in a row. Apostrophe, One Size Fits All, Overnight Sensation, and a couple others. Zoodlers, and Bongo Fury. And one thing that really hit me listening to the 5 albums in a row is Zappa has always been one of my all-time favorite guitarists. But there's some, you know, he has so many albums, there's sometimes I don't pick up on some of his amazing guitar solos. I kind of, you know, because he has so many albums and songs, you kind of forget about them or whatever, but I was just in awe of some great guitar solos that I kind of had forgotten about. I also have 2 books on him, Frank Zappa, Every Album, Every Song, which is excellent. It only goes up to 1979, so hopefully there's going to be a later version. And this one is really good. The Big Note, A Guide to the Recordings of Frank Zappa. It goes through all of his albums and all of his songs in great detail. So I highly recommend this. And I did have the Frank Zappa book that he wrote. I bought that when it came out, but I don't have it now. So some of the albums that didn't make my top 10 include a couple that I feel are, you know, later in his career. Even I started to lose interest in him in his later career after these 2 albums, I guess. And when these came out, I thought they were good, but they weren't quite as good as his previous albums. But now, you know, the past few years, I have a new appreciation for both of them. I think they're very underrated. Zappa, The Man from Utopia, band Zappa, Ship Arriving Too Late to Save a Drowning Witch, with of course his big hit single with Moon Unit Zappa, Valley Girl. Love his hair there. So yeah, these are very good albums, but they're not in my top 10. I listened to this one last night, Burnt Weenie Sandwich. I love it. This one I loved right away when I bought it. You Are What You Is. His excellent live album, Roxy and Elsewhere. Another... This one, I know that Glenn Kellaway from the Basement doesn't care for this era of Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention, Flo and Eddie years. But I really like them, and I love their humor. Not all of it. Some of it, even for me, is a bit much. But I love just another band from LA, and yes, I love the song Billy the Mountain. And Fillmore East, June 1971. Playground Psychotics. My favorite thing about this double CD is a different version of Billy the Mountain. The Mothers of Invention's second album, Absolutely Free, which is excellent. Their debut, of course, the double Freakout. Lumpy Gravy, a little on the crazy side, but I'll listen to it about once a year maybe. Uncle Meat, another excellent double album. And I also have two more. Reuben and the Jets, where he's doing like a pretty straight, serious, I guess kind of a parody of 50s music and doo-wop and everything. And another compilation, The Lost Episodes, that he put together shortly before his passing. Has some of the very rare like some of the earliest. I think the very first recording with Captain Beefheart on vocals. I think it's called Lost in a Whirlpool. Okay, so this is my top 10 at the moment. Ranking these 10, the number one, that's the other thing too, is with most artists that I rank, I kind of exclude live albums, but with Frank Zappa you really can't, because so many of his albums are a mixture of live tracks and studio tracks, and sometimes even the studio tracks have live bits in them. He was just such an amazing composer and editor and producer. So I'm including live albums, studio albums, everything. Well, I've got 11 albums here, so one of them's going to have to drop out, and it's going to be, I guess, yeah, Zoodlers. I like this a lot. I did like it when I bought it, but just listening to it recently, it's like, once again, some of the guitar solos I'd kind of forgotten about that are on this, and the songs too, they're all great. I never used to really care for The Torture Never Stops. It kind of dragged, but I do enjoy it. And a couple of really good instrumentals, Zoodlers and Black Napkins. So that would have almost made my top 10, but it didn't. Okay, my top 10 is starting with Chic Your Booty, or Shake Your Booty. The double album, I was going to say live. Well, it actually is probably mostly live. Double album, and lots of classic songs on this. Bobby Brown. That's the thing too with the Zappa. In today's world, the songs and the lyrics, he wouldn't get away with it today. Well, maybe he probably would. He'd do it anyway. But, yeah. Number 10. Number 9. This is one that has taken me a while to get into. I loved Hot Rats and the Grand Wazoo almost right away, but Wacka Jawacka, it's been a slow burner for me, and I'm really starting to love it. I played this the other night. Jazz rock at its finest. Look, see, it's proof I played it. The CD's not even in the case. Number 8. I think one of his best, it might be his best-selling album, Apostrophe. It went into the top 10, I believe. Yeah, even when I did buy this, I thought some of the lyrics were just beyond stupid, like Stinkfoot. But you kind of get used to his humor, and then you just like, okay, whatever, Frank, and enjoy the music, because so much great music on this. And there's a track he does with Jack Bruce of Cream called Apostrophe, and it is just so amazing. Frank's guitar, of course, and Jack Bruce's bass. So, excellent. Now, number 7, I sometimes have it at number 1, but the only reason it's not at number 1 at the moment is it's not a very long album. It's a single, and it's about maybe, I don't even know if it's 40 minutes. But it's my one of my all-time favorite live albums. Bongo Fury with Captain Beefheart. Look how happy they look. Number 6, Overnight Sensation. What a band he had. Well, he always had just the best musicians. Yeah, there's a guitar, well, many guitar solos, but the guitar solos on Montana and 50/50 are just... If you haven't heard Frank Zappa's guitar work, you need to listen to 50/50 from this album. And a great electric violin solo too. Number 5 means a lot to me because I'd always heard about Frank Zappa, you know, growing up in the 60s and the 70s and seeing the crazy album covers and thinking, I think I'd like his music. And one day in 1975, and I think it was in a cutout bin, even the year it was released when I bought it. And I bought what is considered one of his best albums, One Size Fits All. Yeah, I never used to care for Pajama People, but now I love it. And I think this is the best album if you haven't heard Frank Zappa, and you want to get to know what he's about. One Size Fits All is the album I would recommend. Number 4 came out in 2 parts. Part 1, a single disc, and then part 2 with discs 2 and 3 on vinyl. And altogether it's Joe's Garage, Acts 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. Once again, the humor. It's not for everybody. Why Does It Hurt When I Pee is one of the songs. But even though, you know, a lot of the songs are jokey, and there's some serious messages in the music too, you know, besides the crazy humor. And there's a lot of great guitar solos on this, including what some consider his best, even though I don't remember the title of it. Easter Hay. Watermelon in Easter Hay. That's what it's called. Number 3 is the third Mothers of Invention album, We're Only in It for the Money. Of course, I remember seeing this in the record stores back in 1968, and it would be reversed because they couldn't get the Beatles' permission. So that would be the album cover. And so, like I said, when I saw the album, cover, it's like, I think I might like this music. It looks kind of crazy. We're only in it for the money. And you'll see Jimi Hendrix. Where is he? There's Jimi Hendrix, and he is actually right there with Frank Zappa. He's not a cutout. He was friends with Frank Zappa. And that is Frank's wife, pregnant. So at the moment, well, these two are always going to be right at the top, or very near the top. But at the moment, they're at number 2 and number 1. They could almost interchange. But at the moment, number 2 is the Grand Wazoo. And number 1 is Hot Rats. Once again, well, especially this album has a lot of great guitar solos and a lot of great music. And I think one of my all-time favorite guitar solos is Willie the Pimp. It's a song with Captain Beefheart on vocals. It's the only one with vocals. And his guitar solo is about, 5 or 6 minutes long, and it is just amazing. So check that out if you haven't heard it. And the other one is more of a jazz rock with brass instruments and horns, and not as many guitar solos by Frank, but still so good. The Grand Wazoo. So yeah, those are my top 10 favorite Frank Zappa solo. Those are my top 10 Frank Zappa albums at the moment. I would be very interested in what you think of Frank Zappa. What are your favorite albums of his? What's your number 1? I'd really be curious to know. And did you like his later albums, like Ship Arriving Too Late to Save a Drowning Witch? Because, like I said, I feel those are a bit underrated. So, thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye.